Now I'm going to save this under a little different name. I should have done that before because they like to put a 2 in front of these. We're in chapter 2. Okay. And at this point, we're going to add some more functions. So we're going to add some headings for these. In A19, key highest test average. And in A20, it's lowest test average. And then in A21, we've got average of completed tests. Okay. And then we're going to click right next to highest test average. So we're in B19. And we could use the insert function button to select the max function. If you know the name of the function, you can actually start keying it in. So it is a calculation. Always remember to do an equal. And then the minute we type in an M, it actually assumes we want a function, and it shows us functions that start with M. Now, if we keyed in an A, it would actually limit the list to functions that begin with MA. And I can see the max function right here, so I'm going to go ahead and click on it. Okay, we'll actually double click, and that puts the function into the cell with the left parenthesis. So at this point, I can either type the range or I can drag over it. I think the book has you typing the range. I don't like to do that because it is prone to typos. So I'm going to left drag over the numbers in the average column, and that puts in E4 through E16. And I'm going to put in my right parenthesis. So I've got equal max, and in parentheses, E4 colon E16. I'm going to go ahead and press enter. So again, when you are keying this in, okay, you can manually type the range, or you can just left drag over it. And I think left dragging is a lot easier than manually typing. So now we're going to go down to B20. And for this one, we want the lowest test average. So that is going to be the min function. And for this one, they do want us to use the insert function dialog box. Okay, and statistical is right. We do need to scroll down to find min. And we're going to select it and click OK. Now it's put this into the cell, and at this point, it's only looking at B19, and that is not the right range of cells. It's not even close. So we could manually type in E4 colon E16, or I'm going to point to the title bar and kind of move this out of the way. What we can do is click on the little red arrow here. That kind of minimizes this. And then we can drag over the right range of cells. And that puts in E4 colon E17. Now, if you drag over, should be E16. So if you drag over the wrong range of cells like I did, just make sure it's highlighted. And then you can drag over the correct range. So as long as the range is highlighted, you can drag and change it. Okay, just make sure that it's highlighted before you try to drag. Okay, once you've got the right range, click the arrow. Now we do have the correct range of cells, and we're going to go ahead and click OK. So for max, we just started keying in equal max, and we saw a listing that we selected from. For min, we used the insert function button. Now we're going to go down to B21, and what we need is an average of the averages. And for this one, they want us to use another method of inserting functions. There are lots of different ways of doing the same thing in Excel. So we're going to go into formulas. And you'll see that these are the different categories of formulas, and we could actually use one of these, but in this case they want us to use the FX button here. Same exact button that you see on your formula bar. Okay, so two different places, same exact button. We're going to go ahead and click on it. And let's see, for the category, we still want statistical. We want an average. So we're going to go ahead and click OK. And we're still dealing with that same range, E4 through E16. So you could manually type it, or you can click on the little red arrow, drag over E4 through E16. Okay, when you've got the right range, click the arrow to go back. Remember, if you've dragged over the wrong range, you do need to highlight this. And then you can just simply drag over the correct range and fix it. Click the arrow. And then once you're back in here, you can go ahead and click OK. And we're going to go ahead and save this. You do not need to print. Okay, so make sure you've got it saved, and we're going to move on to the next exercise.